We have got a lot to get into on this one, guys. Pickups, incomings, outgoings as well. Some nice things have been sold. But yeah, before we get into all of that, I'm going to parkrun in Hereford. I've never done that before. And I'm going to hit the CEX up after because I've never been there before either. So you're going to come along with me for that. So yeah, let's go to CEX Hereford and see what it's all about. Hello YouTube, I've just touched down in Hereford. I've just done parkrun 1934, I think, new parkrun, so not bad time considering. And yeah, just on the way through the town now, looking for the CEX. It's a CEX I've never been to before, and we'll check out and see if they've got any PS3 Essentials or PS4 HITS that I don't have on the hunt for the full sets, and see if there's anything nice in there. So let's go. On my way in, I see a bit of retro. There's some Sega Mega Drive here, a yellow Dreamcast that looks like it belongs on the Home Gaming Productions YouTube channel, PlayStation 1, Game Boy, and some nice Nintendo cardboard. In this CEX store was the most DVDs I have ever seen in a CEX. There were loads, and that doesn't even encompass all of them in that shot. Scanning over the PS3 section, which was rather small anyway. There was not much red goodness, and so underwhelming at the time. But I did have a rummage through the Assassin's Creed, and guess what I found lying deep beneath? Yes, one that I don't have. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. It didn't have the manual, but there were plenty of other standard copies, so I gutted a manual from that and put it in. I did make a mental note that online they had Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City, but unfortunately it is just a standard one. There's Saw, a brilliant game that I've completed recently. Even more DVDs in case they didn't have enough in the pan shot that I showed you before. Films galore in this CEX. Absolutely zero, none, nada PS4 HITS titles, not even the ones that you see everywhere. Seems that everyone in Hereford, Cheltenham, Gloucester and Worcester are collecting PS4 HITS based on my CEX experiences. Ah yes, FIFA 18 Legacy Edition. Now that did get an Essentials release, but it's a damn hard one to find, as is FIFA 17, South African exclusive. Imagine seeing either of those in a CEX. Hello YouTube, N60 Fortress here, I'm back. Thanks for tuning in again as always, it's very much appreciated. Just like that, we are back from Hereford, and I've got a lot of pickups to go through, and I mean a lot. So much so that I'm not going to do them all on this video. There's a load of PS4 hits that I'm going to go through probably on the next video, just to stop this one from being so saturated with pickups. But I've got a lot of good stuff to go through nonetheless. So let's start with the stuff we got from Hereford then. So as you saw from the footage, I picked up this Rise of the Argonauts. It was on my save search on CEX anyway, and I saw that it was in stock there. So I looked at the condition, it looked quite nice. It's not an Essentials game, but it's one that I'm curious to have a go on. And yeah, £5, not too bad. And yeah, pleased to add it into the collection. I'm going to move the standard PS3 down, I think, down to the bottom out of the way, because this section is growing fast, and I mean fast, as you'll soon see. But yeah, really keen to have a go on this one. If you've got any comments on it, let me know. Then I obviously saw the Assassin's Creed Black Flag on the PS3 Essentials. I was absolutely delighted to find that hiding at the back there, but same old story, get to the till and they don't have the Essentials disc. So that's a big problem for me, I'm quite fussy. I bought the game all the same and I was quite happy with that, but it started to grate on me as the hours passed, and I literally mean hours, not long at all. I put it on Vinted, tried my luck, and I sold it for about £7 plus post, I think. So I was like happy with that. On Vinted, you get what you sell it for, so the full £7, because the buyer pays postage and buyer protection on top of that. I had a look on eBay and they had some sealed copies for about £20 with the offer code, and I ended up buying a sealed copy. I just couldn't resist. I rolled over the £5.50 profit or so that I made on the one from CEX into this, so all of a sudden it only cost 15 for brand new and sealed and English. You can't complain at all. And that's arrived now, so happy with this. It does have a little bit of damage on the spine, unfortunately, but most importantly, the game is English, it's Essentials, it's brand new and sealed, so delighted to add that one into the collection and get one that is a tough nut to crack, really. Unless you're lucky and find it in CEX with the right disc for £1.50, it is a tough one to crack. You don't see it all too often, presumably because it was a lot later release and, you know, it was on the PlayStation 4 and so on. It's just a little bit more difficult to sort of come by. So yeah, really happy. Overall, really happy with the trip to Hereford. Sometimes that's how it is. You draw blanks, you don't find stuff you're looking for. Absolutely dry on PS4 hits, nothing that I needed. And yeah, all the games that I'd earmarked as the games that could possibly be Essentials, they were all the standard versions. So this is how it goes sometimes. And I try and arrange my visit so I'm doing something else while I'm in the area. For example, parkrun, so that the whole trip is not a wasted trip if you get to CEX and you draw a blank. And fortunately, I've done a new parkrun and I've done a few transactions that have made the visit worthwhile. But so yeah, next up there's a shed load more PS3 Essentials, but before we get into those, I've got something slightly different. I got this lovely Buster Move 2 on the N64 as a nice upgrade for me. There's basically a shipping box of these uncovered over in the Netherlands. Everyone started jumping on them, buying them straight away. I kind of waited for a little while, and once the sort of hype had worn off and a lot of them had sold, he still had a load of them left because multiple shipping boxes of these found, a lot of them. I managed to negotiate a bit of a discount. I basically paid €100 plus postage and VAT, so it ended up being about 130, but originally they were selling for about 150 all in. My mate paid 150, so I got a bit of a discount, and it's absolutely fabulous condition. Real minty, really. Brand new, you know what I mean, I'm a sucker for good condition, so that'll go into my collection and I'll be able to sell mine for about 30 to 40 and move it on hopefully. And yeah, really pleased with this. It's what I like as a collector for my N64, to have things as minty as possible. Yeah, these boxes didn't really stand the test of time very well. They crease so easily. They got the built-in inserts. I want a brand new one that's just been sat in a shipping box all its life, and for the last 25 years at least. It's absolutely mad, isn't it, that these are still being uncovered? Where have they been? Just sat in somebody's loft for a quarter of a century. It's just bizarre, isn't it? So yeah, really happy with that N64 purchase. After that, we just got a shed load of PS3 Essentials to go through. So I've shown you the Black Flag, but we've made a serious dent this week. So we're making some good inroads on this collecting journey, and this is how it's going to be sometimes. Sometimes you'll have good weeks where you've grabbed a shed load, and other weeks it'll be quite dry. But yeah, let's start going through them then. So first of all, I've got this Tekken Tag Tournament 2. I've been speaking to a viewer of the channel. It's called Jack, really nice guy. He's also collecting hits and Essentials. And I actually got to talking to him on eBay. I was speaking to him about Hits game. Then we moved over to Instagram, started talking, and he mentioned that he had a spare one of these. Sold it me for basically CEX price, which is £10 plus a bit of postage. I think I paid about 12. And yeah, it's in really good condition, got the right disc, and has the little bit of extra paperwork there, which is a nice touch. It did have a standard Blu-ray case, but I've swapped this now and somebody else will be getting that, or it'll be going to CEX, and I've just got a correct Essentials case now. But he was quite open about that and told me, so really appreciate that. Jack, shout out to you, my friend. Hope you're enjoying the channel, and it's good to have you as a person to talk to on this journey and bounce off and to talk about the hobby as well and find out things that and exchange knowledge, really, because that's the sort of thing you need to do on this journey. So shout out to you, my friend, much appreciated. Next up, Pro Evo 2015. I actually had this on the PS4 back in the day. I must have traded it into CEX a long time ago while it still had a bit of value. Now, I actually got this from Saw Thumb Retro Games. They're a game store up north somewhere, but too far from me to go and visit, really. But another viewer of the channel called Tom, shout out to you, my friend, top bloke, he sends me photos whenever he goes anywhere of the Essentials, and on this occasion he was visiting Saw Thumb. They only had a couple in stock, but they did have this one. It caught my eye, so I started messaging Saw Thumb on Facebook. I've bought off them online multiple times before. They know me, I know them. Great guys running that place. And yeah, I got some pictures. It's English. It's not an easy one to come by, really. Again, I guess there's just not as many of them around. It was probably sold more on the PlayStation 4 than it did on the PlayStation 3, and then finding it in the Essentials further is a little bit more problematic. The good thing about these game stores, they don't really distinguish between Essentials and standard games. So I think it's £1.50 in CEX. They charge me £2 plus about £2 postage, and it'd be costing me £4 to £5. You can't say fairer than that. It's got the manual and the correct disc, and yeah, for £4 or £5, absolutely worth it. I'm convinced you could sell this for double figures. So yeah, really happy with that. So shout out to Tom, shout out to Saw Thumb Retro Games. Really appreciate that, and it's another Essentials one ticked off. Then I picked up the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion 5th Anniversary Edition. This caught my eye on eBay because, well, it's fully complete. It's got the map and the manual as such. Got the Essentials disc, but it also caught my eye because it has another disc as well, a bonus disc. Bonus materials disc, and yeah, it's just a standard disc, but that seems consistent with what I've seen online. But what I have seen online is that some versions seem to have this disc, but instead of being pushed onto there like that and this one on top, there seems to be like a plastic sleeve and it sits over here. Let me know if you know that to be the case and if that's right, because if it is, that'll probably grate on me. I'm gonna have to find another copy just to get the plastic sleeve and have it accurate. But yeah, it's in great condition all the same, and this was about £11, so I think it sells for £8 in CEX anyway. So again, it's only CEX price plus post. I've not exactly been ripped off. But yeah, if it is meant to have a little sleeve, I probably will look out for another copy and try and buy that and then move this on, or make Frankenstein and make the best copy and move the other one on, you know. But yeah, pleased to tick another one off all the same anyway, and I'll just keep it on my mind just to look out for other copies just in case. But yeah, pleased to add another one in just like that. Then I picked up Far Cry 3. I think that completes the trilogy now. I've got 2 and 4. 5 didn't come out on the PS3 to my knowledge, and yeah, Far Cry 3, I actually like this game. I beat the remaster on PS4 and then went on to play Far Cry 4, 5 and 6 and beat all of those. I'm a big Far Cry fan from 3 onwards. I didn't play any of the earlier ones, but yeah, I didn't play it on the PS3. I played the PS4 remaster, and that was brilliant, really good. But I remember a lot of people raved about this one. Arguably one of the best ones, where it all got really good, and then after that they just started copying it really and didn't really improve on it. But I don't know, I like all of them. So yeah, fully complete with the Essentials disc, manual. And what's great about this is that this only cost me £1 on Vinted. £1. It's a £1.50 game in CEX, so it only cost me £1. Obviously I have to pay buyer protection and postage on top, so it ends up being about £4 or something like that. Where else are you going to get it for £1 where a private seller only gets £1 for it? It's going to be hard to find, isn't it? So can't complain at that. So about £4 all in all for Far Cry 3. It completes the trilogy and another Essentials one in. Really happy with that. Then I picked up Dead Island Game of the Year Edition, also off Vinted, and I'm giving away all the tips here, looking on Vinted. Vinted is a great place, by the way. 1, because you can always put in an offer. 2, because the sellers are normally open to accepting an offer. And 3, you can just get bargains on there, you know. It's really good, and it's somewhere else to look other than eBay, right? So yeah, got this off Vinted as well. Also £1. So it ended up being, what, probably 3, 4 with postage and buyer protection again. But it's one of those that's £1.50 in CEX. And I feel like I used to see it all the time, but initially when I started on this journey, I was only picking up games that I was interested in playing in the Essentials range. And I feel like I used to see this all the time. Now I don't really see it when I go to CEX. So rather than waiting around and then waiting for them to have the right disc, which they probably won't, but I'll pay a few quid more and just get it out of the way. This has got the manual, the correct disc, the extra literature as well, which is great for me, you know. you like that sort of thing as a collector. And it's just overall good condition. So again, the seller only got £1 for this. The rest of it went to Vinted and postage, so it's absolutely mad really, but delighted with that one as well. Lastly, I picked up this Enslaved Odyssey to the West. I've never seen this in the Essentials range before. This one was an eBay purchase as well, I believe. Paid a little bit more, I think it was about £7. I think it's only a £3 game in CEX or something like that. But like I said, I've never seen it before. You know, sod's law is I'll go out and I'll find it in the Essentials game in CEX. Next CEX I go to, I bet. But I've never seen it before, so, you know, I thought whatever, man. Like, I'm happy to just get it out of the way, pay the £7. It's in great condition. And yeah, pleased to add another one into the collection. So, if you've got any comments on any of these games, by the way, let me know, because I've not played any of these other than Far Cry 3, like I said. And yeah, what does that mean? It means we've ticked off. It means we've ticked off another 3, 4, 5, 6, another 7 PS3 Essentials games this week. That's quite a big dent into the Essentials journey. So yeah, really happy with that. And I'll put them in the cabinet in order and show you what it all looks like and where we're currently at. And yeah, let's just get into some more channel admin then, because I've got a few other things I want to go through. Right then guys, we've just got a bit of channel admin to go through. Excuse my reflection there. But yeah, as always, if you're not subscribed to the channel already, please consider doing so. Got a lot of good stuff coming up on the channel and you don't want to miss it. Just excuse my reflection now, I'm in my running gear, about to go for a run. Hello. But yeah, let's go through this admin then. So, also picked up this FIFA Street off Vinted. I think it was £6.77 altogether. It's in really nice condition, fully complete with a manual. Disc is really nice as well. And yeah, hello. But the reason why I bought this was, initially I just thought, right, I can buy that for £6.77 and I can probably sell that for over a tenner plus post or something like that, and just make a little bit of money on it. But actually what happened is, it's actually an upgrade on my existing one. So this is my existing one. It's got like a scratch on the sleeve there, front and back. So this was actually a nice upgrade if you look. So this will go into my collection now. And this one, it hasn't sold yet, but I've put it on Vinted and I've put it on for £10 plus post and fees. So they'll pay nearer 15, I guess. But I think it will sell in time. And the best bit is, this only cost me £3.50 from Old School Gaming. They charged me CEX price. So, assuming this does sell for the £10 asking, which I'm sure it will do in time, if not already, there's some on £15 or more on eBay, so I'm sure it'll sell eventually. Then, what this means is, if I bought this for £3.50 and I sell it for £10, that's a £6.50 profit. That more or less eliminates the £6.77 I paid for the other copy. And like I said, it's just about being smart really, and just little transactions like this will just help you on your collection journey. And I know I've already mentioned that we have a certain sentiment towards resellers, but sometimes you've got to be cute, and if you don't, then it's just going to become a more expensive journey for you. And it just helps justify the journey that you're on, and makes you it just makes the journey more satisfying, isn't it, when you have items in your collection that theoretically on paper did not cost you anything. So really happy with that. And then lastly, I've decided to part ways with this beautiful orange, fantastic fire orange N64 console that I've owned for just over a year now. I've owned these in the past before and ended up selling them, and it's a little bit of a reluctant sale, but it's just sat in a box in the loft, and you know, when it's not there in your collection to be enjoyed, sometimes it's just better to let things go. So I paid $350 for this last year. I've sold it to a friend, viewer, subscriber of the channel, Christos, and he's a lovely gentleman, well known in the N64 scene, got a lovely collection, and he's buying this as an upgrade to his console, and he'll have his old one to move on and hopefully recoup a lot of the costs for this. And I've been quite candid with him and told him, you know, I'm going to be talking about it on the channel, mentioning that I paid $350 for it. It sold for $400 all in, gifted, so I received $400. I'm going to send it special delivery for him. It'll probably be the best part of £15 to post it. That'll give me about £385 back, so that's a £35 profit margin and 10% in the just over the year that I've owned it. And it just makes it easier to justify in my head the letting it go. you know, making a 10% return and bringing a bit of profit back in, but also bringing money back in. I mean, for an item that's £350 like this, that's just sat in your loft, think how many PS3 Essentials or PS4 HITS games that can be translated into that are going to be, you know, front and centre on display. You'd have to excuse my son's car there. It's just made its way into the room somehow, some way. But yeah, I just feel like, you know, that money going into the display is a better use of my resource than this just being sat in the loft. And I probably will regret it. You know, you don't come across orange N64s, fire orange N64s in this condition very often. It's fully complete inside. It has all the baggies and so on. I'm not going to open it up again out of respect for him, but you can take my word for it. It's fully complete in there. Baggies and everything. It's a beautiful condition. The controller thumbstick's like new, nice and tight. And yeah, he's getting a good one with this. And it's reassuring for me that it's going to a good home. And it just essentially makes this easier to accept and part ways with, really. And, you know, this collecting journey is always about fine-tuning and sort of assessing what you have and not keeping hold of everything if it's not strictly necessary. And on my journey that I'm on at the moment, collecting these PS3 Essentials and PS4 HITS games, it's not something that I deem essential any longer. So happy to part ways with it, really. And that'll give us more of a war chest to keep attacking this PS3 Essentials set, which is becoming more expensive, and yeah, the PS4 HITS as well. So all in all, I think it's the right move. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Am I silly for letting something as nice as this go, or is it a smart move, sort of freeing up a bit of money and space? That's the box it's going in. And yeah, just let me know what you think, really. I'm interested to hear. Right then, guys, we've got some good news. So I've literally just finished filming my intro for the video that you'll have already seen on the channel on Thursday. Mission N64239, episode 14. Can we complete and review Chameleon Twist on the N64? Literally just filmed my intro. And then we've just sold the FIFA Street that I had spare on the PS3 Essentials, the one with the bit more damage, that cost me £3.50. It's sold for £11 on Vinted, plus the post and fees they'll have paid on top, so they'll have paid nearer £15 for this. But this cost me £3.50, and the upgrade, which I showed you earlier, that cost me £6.77. The money that I've made on this £11 basically means that copy over there cost me nothing, so happy days. Another one in the collection for free. I've got to package this up now and take it to the locker, and I've also got to finish packaging this lovely orange N64, which I've sadly sold, and sorry to see it go, but it's going to a good home, and hey, it creates a bit more in the war chest to go after these remaining games that we're collecting, but it also frees up the space. That was just sat in this box in the loft, and it's just another item gone to somebody who's going to appreciate it, really, and yeah, curates my overall collection a little bit more. I've also got my race number here. I'm doing the Worcester Half Marathon on Sunday, so wish me luck. Not really going for a PB, but if I can do below 1 hour 30, I'll be happy. I think I did 1:28.5 at Birmingham, so I doubt I'll beat that, but if I can just do like 1:30 or something like that, just under, that'd be great. And yeah, so I better get these packaged up and get down the post office then. Right then, guys, got some behind the scenes footage to go into about me playing through Chameleon Twist for episode 14 of Mission N64239. Just got back from shipping the orange N64, just like that, and the FIFA Street. But before I get into some of this behind the scenes talk, I picked up this from a locker, another one for the collection, another PS4 HITS ticked off. It's a Horizon Zero Dawn, but it's different to the one that I've already got. That's the complete edition, so the much more common one to find. This is the non-complete edition, just the standard Horizon Zero Dawn, but it's obviously a PlayStation HITS one, but it's quite a difficult one to come by because it's not to be sold separately, which means that, if my understanding is correct, it's one that would have been bundled with a console. I think I've seen a couple of console bundles that had this and some with multiple games with them. but this is an example of one that would have been bundled, and therefore it wasn't sold en masse like the complete edition. So from a collector's point of view, it's a bit more difficult to get hold of, just less of them around. And I actually bought this on Vinted, and it turned out the seller was a viewer of the channel. They kind of asked, I think my name was a bit of a giveaway, even though it's not N64 Fortress, it had 64 in the title. But yeah, really pleased to add this one in. And yeah, it's just got a standard disc. I've just put the feelers out to ask if it should have a not for resale disc, but I can only see one on eBay sold, and it's got the standard disc. And I've just asked 2 other collectors who have got it in their collection what discs theirs have, just out of interest really. I'm sure it probably is just a standard disc, but just part of me just thinks, oh, is that right or not? Could it have been muddled up at CEX? But hopefully not. Hopefully it is just a standard disc. And yeah, shout out to James who sold me this, who is a viewer of the channel. He actually rebated me £2, very kind of him. He mentioned after I'd bought it that he would have given me more of a discount had he known it was me, but totally unnecessary, my friend. I have messaged to say thanks, much appreciated, and yeah, I really appreciate that. It's just nice to have a seemingly uncommon one ticked off on this journey, and much appreciated to you, my friend. So yes, I'm about to get into episode 14 of Mission N64 239. Can I complete and review all 239 UK PAL N64 games? So we're on to our 14th of this long ass series, and yeah, I've never played this one before, so looking forward to it. Just to show you the setup really. So this is how it all works, and so the laptop is where the footage is recorded to, essentially, via an Elgato capture card, and that's my HDMI modded N64, which is just obviously connected to the Elgato through HDMI, and then that feeds into the telly from the Elgato, and it's just a pretty simple setup really. But yeah, I've gone for the actual cart since I had the box out, and it's not a box that's absolutely minty, so I don't mind opening it. Rather than playing on the EverDrive 64, which is what I would typically do just for ease sake really. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into this one then. I'll just sort of set the tripod up here, and yeah, let's get into it. Right, there is a bit of training mode on this, and it's advised that you do that. So I'm going to have a quick blast through the training and learn some of the techniques, so that when I play the game I'm not sort of struggling, wondering what the controls are and what do I need to do to transverse through the levels really. So I'll just do a quick blitz of training. I thought I'd show you some of that on this because it won't make the final cut of Mission N64 239's episode. We'll just go straight into beating the game. But yeah, this is the first time I've ever played this game. It's totally new to me. So yeah, as you expect, A to jump, B to lick, and you basically use your tongue to sort of transverse through levels, either swing off things or grab hold of and then pull you towards them, and it's meant to be quite a simple platformer, but yeah. Well, that was nice and easy. So the longer you hold down B is the longer your tongue sort of stretches. Nice and simple. Right then guys, that's about going to do it for this week's episode. We've been through quite a lot. Obviously I've still got some pickups to show you, but I don't want to bore you to death, so we'll probably go through those on the next episode, next Sunday hopefully. And yeah, all the PS3 Essentials are now in their place. I'll show you a bit of overlay of how it's looking. I'm still quite a bit below 100, so I'm still quite a bit below halfway. I'm enjoying the journey still, and we made a bit of good progress this week and made up for a bit of a dry spell in the last few weeks. And yeah, really happy of how it's going. Really happy of all the contacts I've been making. Really pleased with all those people who've been getting in touch with me on Instagram and so on. Shout out to Jack again, who sold me the Tekken Tag 2 tournament. Shout out to Tom, who's been sending me photos of different CEX's game stores and letting me know what essentials they've got out and about. Shout out to you, my friend. Keep it up. Really appreciate it. Shout out to James as well, who sold me the Horizon Zero Dawn and the PS4 HITS. Really grateful for that, my friend, and for the discount that you gave me, even though it wasn't necessary. If anyone wants to get in touch with me, I am on Instagram. I would appreciate any help. If you're out and about, you see essentials or you have essentials spare that you don't need, just drop me a message if you want to help me. I don't expect things to be sold on the cheap. I don't want that. I don't want things to be given to me. I'm happy to pay the going rate. It's just good to have extra eyes and ears out there on this collecting journey. It just helps make it easier. It's a bit of a mammoth challenge, and it's good when you're working together on these journeys. I'm also happy to help you guys out. Let me know if you need help, and I'm also happy to help you with the knowledge that I've built up so far. I've got an awesome pickup coming in the not too distant future from Germany. I've raided Germany and picked up some really rare Essentials and Hits games that don't really surface over here, and they are in English, most of them, so really happy with that, and I'll bring that to the channel as soon as that touches down in the UK. I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you've enjoyed it, please whack a thumbs up as always. It really helps me out, helps me grow, helps push me into YouTube's algorithm and get more eyes on the channel, more people viewing the channel who are interested in this content but they're not yet seeing it in their feed. Really appreciate that. Drop a comment on any of the games that I've showed you and let me know what you think about any of those. Are any of these rare? Are any of these quite easy to get? Have I overpaid or I underpaid? Let me know what you think. And lastly, if you're new to the channel or a returning viewer and you're not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. Trying to build this place up. More of you coming along to see me on this Essentials journey, on the PS4 Hits journey, and can I complete and review all 239 UK Power N64 games? If you're interested in seeing how that pans out, get subscribing to the channel, hit the bell notification, and yeah, get involved in the comments. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you on the next one. Drop a comment drop a comment on any of the games that I've showed you and let me know what you think about those. Really appreciate that. Drop a comment on any of the games I've showed you and let me drop a comment on any drop a comment on any of the games that I've showed you and let me know what you